Okay guys, so let's create a keypad. I'm using the Oculus integration, but you can use whatever you want. I made sure it's very general. So the keypad is an empty game object with one script. You don't have to add that right now, we do that later. Inside the empty game object there is just a base. It's a black cube without the collider. And inside the base I have small cubes with TextMesh Pro as children. So these are the buttons, just square cubes with a key feedback script, a is-kinematic rigid body, and a collider. The collider could be triggered, but it is not. They also need the tag. So let's open up the script. So first I have an audio source and sound. I have a public boolean if the key is hit. I have the original color and the renderer of the cube. I also have a little timer for returning the color. So first we create an audio source, set the spatial blend and volume to whatever you feel fit. I get the renderer of the cube and save the original color. So now in the update function, if key hit is true and return color is less than time.time, then we want to play the key sound. We want to set the timer. So we move return color by time.time plus 0.1 seconds. So we set return color 0.1 seconds into the future. So in a separate if statement just below, we check if the color is not the original color and if return color is less than time.time, so then we return the color to the original color. And on these little buttons on your TextMesh Pro, it is important that you do not have any extra spaces or anything. It has to be only the character. Just like that. So for triggering these buttons, I'm using a small sphere which I have attached to my hand. Right now I am even rendering the sphere. If you're using hand models, you put these spheres at the tip of your fingers and then you deselect the mesh renderer. This will make it so you cannot see the sphere, but it is still there. The collider and everything is still there, and it will be invisible. I'm just gonna show you, just like this. And that will be your impact point. So put those at the fingertips or whatever you want to use to hit the keys. You need a trigger collider, you need a key detector script and a kinematic rigid body on these spheres. So let's open up the key detector script. Make sure you have these usings, and we have a variable that is the display. So make sure the display is tagged with display and it has a child that is a TextMesh Pro. I also have a reference to the keypad control script, which is the last script that is applied to the empty game object, the very top. So we get the display by finding the tag and getting the component TextMesh Pro in children. We set the text to nothing. And we also get the keypad by getting the tag and getting the keypad control. So make sure the keypad, the empty game object, is tagged keypad and has this script. I will show the script in a little bit, as I said. So if what we are hitting is a keypad button, has the tag keypad button, then we get the TextMesh Pro from that button. We get the text out of it, so that will be the number. And if the key is not null, that means we have retrieved a key. We get the key feedback script from that key, and then we check the text of the key. So let's say the text is back. Then we want to make the string one letter less. So as you can see, this doesn't say back anywhere here, but there is a TextMesh Pro on every object, and on these colored ones there is still a TextMesh Pro object with text, but the font size is 0, so it's hidden. But it's still there and we can still use it in the script. So if it is back and the text is more than 1 character, more than 0 characters, then make it 1 character shorter. If it is enter. Sorry guys, this is me from the future. I forgot to do a little error check here, so we could crash this program if we do not add this 1 line of code. Okay, so we need to try to parse the display text into a number. And if that is successful, then we know it is a number, because if the display text says retry and you keep hitting enter, then we try to parse enter into an integer and that will not work. It will crash. So it's very important that you add this line of code to try to parse the text. If the parsing to integer is successful, only numbers will be true, and add only number equals true in the if statement below as well. And now I will continue the video. I'm sorry. Then we want to check the keypad control script with whatever is on the display to see if this is the combination to this keypad. If it is true, then set the text on the display to start, otherwise set it to retry. Else, if the key text is cancelled, just remove all the text from the display. And if none of these are true, then we must have hit a number. So, first of all, make sure that there's only numbers on the screen. And if that is not true, well, then the screen says start, retry, or cancel. So just reset the screen then. Otherwise, as long as the text is shorter than 4 characters, which will mean 5, it starts by 0, just add a character to the display. And let's do the keypad control script. It's applied to the empty game object at the top. So first we have a public int, the correct combination. And you have to set that in the editor, because if you have several keypads, you cannot hard code the combination, but you want to use different combinations probably. And the public bool for access granted, and the spotlight. Now here you might do something way different than just turning on a spotlight. You can change this to a game object and enable it, or do whatever you need to do, open doors and stuff. I only have a reference to this spotlight. So in the start function, I just turn the spotlight off. And if access granted equals true, then I enable the spotlight, and then I say access granted false again, so that we not fall into this if statement every frame and turn the spotlight to enabled all the time. That's unnecessary. I now only have one function, check if correct, which takes a combination, an int, compares it to the correct combination, and if it's true, it returns true and says access granted to true. And this is where I use it, in the key detector script. I send whatever is on the display converted to an integer. And that is it, guys. You don't need anything more. This will work, and it's quite handy. So if you have any issues or questions, ask me in the comment sections, and as always, everything available on Patreon. Thank you, guys.